Come go with me while I make my turnip green casserole. This is 1 meal in a pan, honey. How good can you get? Baby, I love me some turnip greens. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret about this recipe I'm doing. I bought some frozen turnip greens. Now, I'm going to cook these, and let me show you. I want to show you a little bit how much water. It's not got a lot of water. I'd say to 1 bag of turnip greens, I have probably a cup of water, maybe a cup and a half water. We just want to cover them up. And to this, I added a teaspoon of the Better Than Bouillon. I added a teaspoon of that to this water, okay? Then I added a teaspoon of Texas Peak. And then I added I would say a half a teaspoon of Slap Your Mama seasoning. With that, I didn't add no salt and pepper to this because of the bouillon. It's gonna make it, have more sodium than what you'd want with salt. So that's about what I added in this. And I almost forgot, baby. I added a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. So we're gonna let this cook about 20 minutes, and then we're gonna add all the good fixing to it. And I'm gonna tell you something. This recipe here is gonna knock your socks off. And of course, I almost forgot, I added a tablespoon of salted butter. And we're gonna let that cook for 20 minutes, remember? And then I'm gonna add all the fixings to it. Now we're gonna get started on the next ingredients. I put about 1/4 cup of olive oil and I'd say 2 tablespoons of butter in my cast iron skillet. We chopped up, and I like to do it almost in a bite size, a pound of Conecuh sausage. What we're gonna do with this, I'm gonna saute this a little bit in this with some Slap Your Mama seasoning on it. And then after we saute this probably about, I'd say 5 minutes, then I chop me up a whole onion, and I'm gonna throw that right over in there and combine those two together and saute them together for I'd say about 10 more minutes. Now we've sauteed this a little bit in that butter and oil. Now we're gonna add this whole white onion that I chopped up. Now I don't chop mine very little. Now you can if you want to. If you're not an onion lover, just chop it up real small. But the onions do help it. I really like onions in this recipe. All right, we're gonna mix this all up and let it saute together for about, I would say, another 5 or 10 minutes. All right, now we got these turnip greens done. I'm gonna hold this pan over so that you can see how much liquid you need to leave. You won't have to drain these after you've cooked them about 20 minutes. But if you've got more water than this, you might wanna let some of it out, okay? Now you see how much water I got in that? That's about how much you need to leave, because you're gonna need a little juice in this for this casserole, okay? Now we're gonna get started on the cornbread and mixing this all together. All right, now I got my Conecuh sausage and my onions all sauteed good. Now we're gonna put it over here in the turnip greens with a little bit of juice. And I wanna let you know a little tip on this. You know, the butter and the oil that I sauteed my sausage and onion in, I want you to save about 1/4 cup of that, and we're gonna pour that yummy stuff over into that cornbread mixture. All right, now let's get started on this cornbread that we're gonna mix up that goes with the turnip green casserole. We've added a box of Jiffy cornmeal mix on this, and then we're gonna add us 2 eggs. Just pour them right on over in there. Then you're gonna add a 1/2 cup of sharp cheddar cheese, okay? Now that we've got the cheese in here, we're gonna add us a 1/2 cup of sour cream. Now I use Daisy, but you use whatever you got, honey. But I do like the taste of Daisy sour cream. All right, now we're gonna add this wet ingredient. It's a 1/4 cup of whole milk that I put in this, and then I add a 1/4 cup of buttermilk. Whole buttermilk is what I do. You just pour that on over in there. Then I'm gonna come to my Duke's mayonnaise. I always gotta have this Duke's mayonnaise in my food because it is a good tasting mayonnaise. Now we're gonna add a good heaping teaspoon of the mayonnaise in it. We're gonna put us some Texas Pink in this. Give it a little spice. So I would say add about 5 drops of it. So now that we've got it all mixed in this one little bowl, we're gonna whisk this up. Okay, let's put us some salt and pepper in this baby. Then it's gonna be ready to pour over them turnip greens. Just mix that in, and then we're gonna fix it and make some yummy turnip green casserole. Now we got it poured over in our 9x13 pan. Now mine's a deep dish, but yours doesn't have to be a deep dish because you got plenty of room just to use a regular 9x13. Now we're gonna put our cornbread mixture over this. Now we're gonna pour this all over on top of this baby. And it is going to be yummy. All right, now we're just gonna spread it across here. And now it's gonna be ready to go in the oven. Okay, we got our oven preheated to 375, and what we're going to do here, we're going to cook that, I would say for 20 to 25 minutes, but you know, depending on your oven, baby, make sure it's good and brown, the cornbread, because everything in there is already done, just not the cornbread. Okay, this is hot out of the oven. Now I'm going to get my table all ready and serve it to all my friends and family. I'll go make you some because I think you're going to really enjoy this. And I want you to always remember to smile because God sure does love you and He's got you.